sometimes I be moving and shaking on the low outside. But your girl is in a movie. Do you see her? That is now live on Amazon Prime. Written and produced by Caridad Poli. I'm out here getting my life. I just want y'all to know that. But I want y'all to check this clip out. Y'all, it's me. Look. It's me.
Oh my God, the views are to die for. You guys gotta go. I can't even imagine a vacation right now. I'm swamped in cases, but your girl is on the fast track to make partner in a few years, so yay me. Mark, tell us about your promotion. I'm so happy for you. I mean, I thought you were all you did was play video games all day. And wait, does he still do that? Oh yeah. Sometimes we'll be up for days.
Do You See Her is a crazy psychological thriller that has won tons of awards on the festival circuit. Emily, the lead, moved in with her boyfriend really, really soon. I mean, that's soon for me, but hey, that's neither here nor there. That's none of my business. But back to the situation at hand. She's trying to figure out, hey, am I seeing things? Are things really in this house? He kind of weird too. So, it takes you on this wild journey. And like, baby, look, I can tell you about it, but you can also watch it because, baby, we on Amazon Prime. Mama, I made it.
All right, welcome back. Everyone needs an Aquarius. We are back. I
didn't know you was hitting the button.
Greetings, everyone. Once again, Dom, are you okay now recording?
I'm ready.
Well, right before this, you heard Dom and got to see her in her new movie. Real quick, Dom, you want to tell a little bit about it, people, before we jump into the topics and what they just saw?
Yeah, in the clip I say what the movie is about and everything, and it was just an overall really, really fun experience. Being able to be a part of something so cool. It was crazy seeing myself like playing it on the TV and everything, and I love that I told my mom. I said I was just making this reel about the movie I was in, and she goes on to talk. She goes on. No, she doesn't even acknowledge it. She starts talking about Cedric the Entertainer's The Neighborhood. Do you watch The Neighborhood? No, nigga, no. I just told you now where I can watch it. Nothing. That's why I be calling you a dream crusher.
Mom was like,
parents are so interesting. They be like, yeah, but do you what? Like nothing.
Have you watched The Neighborhood? Like, okay.
No, I've never seen an episode of that. And I know people that have written on that show, that are on that show. No, I've never seen that show. But it was cool. It was really cool to see. Super, super exciting. Can't wait to show y'all what's next.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. It looked dope. I'm proud of you.
It looked dope. I thought you watched it.
Yeah, I did. What are you talking about? I'm talking about your role in there. It looks dope. Like, I'm giving you props, man.
How the movie end? Spoiler alert.
I ain't spoiling the movie for people, man. You tripping?
Because you didn't watch it. Y'all can rent it on Amazon Prime for $2.99.
I just watched your part.
Or you could buy it for $10. So yes, it was really cool. If you want me a part of your life forever, I say you make the investment and spend the $9.99.
Because the motherfucking Amazon movies, boy, you own it for life.
Yeah, you got a piece of me forever.
Look, there's gonna be some dudes out there like, I bought your movie. Listen, now I need your number. Didn't God say to get a piece of my love?
Oh my God.
Well, I did my part. Now it's time for your part.
You are funny. Y'all probably think I'm tripping today. I know I've been tripping all day because I'm tired. My dog is at the end of this pregnancy cycle, and it's just like a lot of I hope she don't have these damn puppies till next week when Johnny get back. I'm be honest. I ain't trying to be ripping and ripping all over the city from Woodland Hills to Perry fucking Mount, all of that. I really just hope this little girl don't have these puppies, because then I had to take Friday off.
How many they think she gonna have? Puppies.
Oh, they already know 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Pax is little, and this is, I'm gonna be honest, this is a waste of time and money that you like. The costs don't balance out.
Right, because you want a nice amount of dogs, and you only getting 2.
Well, sometimes the universe likes to play games. And when I told you I didn't want to do this to the dog and you ain't gonna get no puppies, they like to support me, the universe, and say, "Yeah, girl, we got your back. They got my hammer back."
Mentioning games. Somebody cue up the Chucky Booker if you can for me. We can't because I would have it playing in the background here. But YouTube regulations on the shorts. Maybe I'll put Chucky Booker in the background. But Klay, as we called them before, Klay and Meg have broken up, and I didn't know this gender war was gonna be this strong. But I kind of get it though. I thought about it, Dom. I'm gonna let the lady jump in here. At first I was like, do we care this much for real? But then I thought about it. Megan Thee Stallion is, in a lot of ways, an amalgamation of the average black girl. And I'm not saying like everyone is like Meg, but they feel her at a certain level of what she's been through in life. Losing her mother, going through some drama with some dude that's shooting at her, just these extreme things that people can feel with. And then they feel like, oh, the first time she's in a safe space, like I've been in a relationship. They're doing a lot of parasocial projection onto Meg's situation. So I got to step back and not be in the internet streets talking about it all is my whole thing. I'm not really even going, hey, if you really, really upset about it, great, man or woman, even though I think both sides, it's kind of crazy to be on both sides. But here or there, but I get why on the side, and then I get why I see on the other side how all these dudes identify on the other side against me. She a bad bitch, and niggas don't like seeing bad bitches move freely. So it's like, and then it's like a part of them was like, they didn't even know Klay was a player like that. Now they up here researching and got him on billboards and all kind of stuff. Like Klay been getting down like this. We talked about this when they first got together. Like, man, maybe he turned over a new leaf. He been his get down, his bill has always been like this. But all that being said, I didn't understand why. I still don't, but I get why both sides, because there's a lot of vitriol towards Meg because of their for men because of their misogynistic ways and what they project and what they want a woman to be. And then on the flip side, women are parasocially connecting whatever pain they went through with a man through Meg, even though that may be wrong, even though they only been together like 9 months. But you putting on your projection of what Craig put you through for 10 years. So I can see both sides and them being extreme with it too. But there we go. And they Aquarius, so I knew it was gonna go like this if they was gonna break up.
So
because they was doing too much in public for Aquarius. Most Aquarius don't move like that in public like that.
So I was gonna lead with the Aquarius part.
That's outside of their scope, if that makes sense. That's outside of our scope.
That's okay. So that's what I was gonna lead with. I was gonna lead with the fact that they're both February Aquariuses.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked that, because how it even got found out was that he was like, somebody zoomed in on a photo and saw him in the background. Like, that is how we
like what was a random, like what do you mean? Like,
she had posted a picture, somebody he was in the like background. You wouldn't even really clock it because you would like, because she's so close to the camera, but then you see Klay in the background.
Oh, I remember that. It was when they first started dating.
Yeah, when they first started dating.
I remember that. Okay. I thought you were talking about him cheating. I was like, damn.
Yeah, no. Ultimately, I think it was one of those things where, like you said, for me, like, even I was like, oh damn, like they really public with this. This is interesting, because here's the thing. We could have just saw him in the background of the picture and maybe saw him floating in the background of a lot of stuff and then just kept it moving. And it's just like, oh, they clearly kicking it, or, friends or whatever. And that's cool. I think this is the thing ultimately that makes you sort of apprehensive to put stuff out publicly, because people really be praying for your downfall and wishing
100%.
the worst for you. And we out of all the people, out of all the signs, really get that and understand that more than anybody. So it's just, and my concern is this. I was just like, in her outing him, and his behavior and everything clearly was moving fast. It was kind of like that infatuation, that fairy tale, and then the reality starts to set in because he's cheated on Laura Harrier. He cheated on Coco Jones, which I didn't even know that was a thing at one point, and it was somebody else he was even talking to. So, but he is a cheater. Like the white girl that he was kind of messing with before has said this.
Well, then somebody stole his diary or something and put it out. Did you see that?
Oh, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, somebody stole his diary in 2019. One of his girlfriends, maybe it's the white girl, and put out snippets of it or whatever. And he was in there talking about, man, am I just going to be messing around with women? This is supposed to be his diary that she put out there. I think it's the white girl.
Okay.
Like, am I supposed to always be like this, just from woman to woman? My sex overdrive. Like, it was kind of like, it may not be. I don't know what dude writes like that, but I can maybe see Klay write like that because he grew up with money. Like, but it was like convenient, but it was like in 2019. But that's they claim was his diary entries that she took pictures of.
Well, I would say this. What's interesting about it all is the disdain that people have for Meg. Just men, women, and it kind of just leaves me, when we think about not even just Meg, but like the Aquarius sign as a whole, a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork, and they mainly hate the men. They mainly hate y'all, D.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're seeing what people are saying about the women, or just how we, we navigate, how we move, because we don't be like, if we tripping, you really did something like really kind of fucked up for us to really even give a fuck about, because we care, but then it's only so much that we care about. Like, I had to check my Aquarius on something yesterday, and I said, no, not gonna say that because this is how this comes across, and I don't think that's what you mean. And I was like, because do you want me to match it? Do you want me to match it? Do you want me to do it? And I'm not like, I said, and this is what I was saying. I was like, I wasn't even trying to argue because I don't even feel like I have energy. I had energy.
Hey, but Dom, it's so funny. Shout out to Sleepy. He said, hey, man, Meg man thought this was a full-on relationship. This may be a side mission for Klay Thompson.
Here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. So, and I don't know this man, right? So I'm not taking sides. So what I was going to say was like, okay, well, we know that he is known to date Japan the Snow, which makes sense. His mama white. And you cheating on these black girls, but then, the white girl did say that this, he be cheating. But it's interesting how allegedly he has done these things to like these black women, because like we only know the one girl that allegedly overlapped, or that he started talking to Meg with what she said, right? And these girls are beautiful girls, like the black girls.
He's got a good run.
He has game.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, sometimes people that this isn't their normal life or their normal experience, they view women as playthings. So at first I was like, is this some sort of like weird fetish, and then or whatever? But I was like, I'm not gonna say that. But what I would like to probably say in regards to Meg, and Meg being in her late 20s, I would say, and Klay being 37 to 38.
Yeah, he's late 30s.
She likely thought, because he has been injured, he is toward the end of his career, retirement is coming soon, that he was slowing down and settling down. And he should have been transparent that that's not necessarily what he was on. Because then you could have viewed this relationship and moved differently. Like, it's one thing to kick it with people and go to people's houses, spend the holidays together, but you're integrating me into your family, which is clearly a big deal for me because I don't have family, at least, immediate family like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does, because her father and her mother passed away. Yeah.
Right. And then you had another grandmother that passed away. I think she only has like one grandmother left. Um, so you kind of got to play the game a little differently. And I think that he could at least given her that transparency. And again, we don't know what was said behind closed doors. And I
Yeah.
know the assumption is that they bought this house together because she posted pictures of a key, a key that could have just been her house. Because I don't think that post said anything
Or it could
together.
have been a condo.
You know what I mean? Um, and so I think that it probably all happened a lot like quicker. And then him being an Aquarius. Oh my God, like this is moving so fast. Like, and this might be just too good to be true. Blah 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 blah. So I'm comfortable and would like rather go back to what I know and my familiar territory than to kind of just make it work. Just see how this goes and how this plays out. But I do think that he owed her a level of transparency. If monogamy is what she, was wanting, which I get because you have been in crazy, different situations. Like, the last good person you was dating, the little, at least publicly, the little rapper, you know, it was alleged that
Party? Is it we talking about Party?
sure, yeah, him. Um, it was alleged that he cheated on her. Then you have, like you said, the whole thing with her and midget Mike, and then you have also her grieving friendship. You're just like that chapter of her life because your best friend, you no longer have your best friend. You had this crazy psychotic thing, the crazy thing that happened to you that where it could have cost you your life. And then safety is what you wanted in a relationship. Safety, that honor, that love, and that's not to say that didn't exist, but allegedly finding out that this person is cheating on you.
I mean, and is that why women are attaching to this so much? You feel like? And I mean, I know a lot of
I
girls
think
kiss
so.
Meg too,
I
though,
really
but-
think so. I really think so. But I think it's just really weird that.
Or is it the backlash that niggas is acting up so much, and then women are getting upset because niggas is acting up?
I think people honestly,
Or are we
genuinely.
living too parasocial?
Here's the thing. I think people thought they were genuinely happy. Having fun. You seeing her at the game. You seeing Meg be happy, and now you ending your Moulin Rouge run like 2 weeks early. Anyway, so I don't know. And I know people like allegedly like in these messages that he said to this WNBA player who has since now said that, oh, that it's not true or anything because she was sharing stuff on her close friends and somebody screenshot it and sent to somebody. So it was like telephone. So it got sent to her. You know what I mean? Where he was like, oh, this is just for Instagram. And I'm just like, is it? Like, I'm tired of people using that. Like, and I know that those are like industry relationships, like, are a thing, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been like that before.
Huh?
It's been like that before, though. I mean,
yes. And I mean, they say that about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey's relationship.
Well, I'm talking about even back in the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, I mean, we always know that, but I think this was the most interesting awkward pairing. So I don't necessarily believe that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's not like, and I'm not, and like I said, I don't know. I just know of Klay when I watch him play basketball. So I don't even follow him.
Yeah, but that was wild that people were like, nobody knew who you were until Meg. And I was like,
I'm not, but like,
that's when it gets like ridiculous. That's like another ridiculous side.
But you know what? I think that's just people wanting to diminish him to lesser than,
Well, he's gonna be an NBA Hall of Famer. He's like a five.
Like, I can't take that from him. I'm not gonna say that. You know,
but
what
people
I mean?
are like, we didn't even know who you were. Like, okay.
Well, and I can see people if you are not engaging in sports, you don't pay attention. You only know. I mean, Klay
That
Thompson
no,
don't
it's
have he
diminishing.
don't have
He's a
shoot.
4-time NBA champion. He's a NBA Finals MVP. Like,
Listen, I
he's
don't
gonna
know.
be a
Like I
Hall of
said,
Famer.
that the excuse to that, I could see somebody knowing Steph from the same team versus Klay.
That's fine, but I'm talking
Yeah, you
about
know what I mean. If you're not, if you don't engage in the sports ball, I can see.
okay. So that'd be equivalent of somebody saying they don't know who Michelle Williams is from Destiny's Child to me. How can you not? Oh no, even better, Kelly Rowland. It'd be like you don't know who Kelly Rowland is.
Here's the crazy thing. Depending on you,
No.
no. Depending on your age bracket, I could see that being a thing.
So
Because if you did not get to, yeah. So I could say, what is this generation? What's your daughter?
Generation Alpha.
Yeah, I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, but these are adult women online talking about they didn't know who Klay was, and they 35 years old.
I could see that. But I don't think my sister knows who Klay Thompson is.
Okay, well, I just
my
think
sister was only engaging in basketball and going to games because of me. I could see her not knowing who Klay Thompson is. Because when he was dating Laura Harrier, I did know about that one. But if you don't, and she's kind of like, as beautiful as she is more kind of low key. So you would, if you don't follow her, I don't remember her posting any pictures of him.
No.
Same thing with Coco Jones. Like I didn't even know that was a thing.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that Meg, but also Meg had she does live her shit through online a lot more in general.
Yeah, I think because how old is Megan Pete? Oh, she's 31.
Okay.
I thought she was like 27 for some reason. I don't know why I thought she was 27. Girl, people be having birthdays. Yeah, girl, I know. See, this is what be happening in my home when you living alone. You be talking to yourself. Answer yourself. You know what? So that is like around that would be, she not a millennial. So that is Gen Z, right? She would be Gen Z. Yeah. So that's like,
yeah, Gen Z.
So I would say that is different, but I think also there's a little bit of satisfaction. But I'm gonna say this. The reason why I am shocked, about her kind of being more public facing in this relationship, given everything that she went through, I would have thought that she wanted something for herself.
When she was messing with Lukaku, or she went on that date to the wedding, she never mentioned it. We just, and the only reason it came out because the soccer people like me was like, "Hey man, that's making the Stallion hanging out with Lukaku."
Right, and in that I would say
I wouldn't even have known. It would have only been a soccer thing.
Yeah, and so here's the other thing that I would say. I wonder if the reason why I was like, oh, I kind of wish she didn't post anything, and your truth is your truth. There is the possibility they might dabble around another time before it's finally done. And so now you put
back then they did.
No, this situation. So you gotta.
They might get back together. You saying?
All right. So Meg, don't say nothing to us, because now we in your business and we want to know, and that's my thing. And this is just for anybody. Cause now we in it.
Yeah, and it's destroyed. It's put us in this is one of the biggest gender wars I've seen in a while since the first 50-50 conversation on Twitter back in 2014.
I'm gonna say this, and people can disagree all the time. I said all the time. I said this is why your role and stay your lane. Meg is a person that raps about having listen. Fucking on older niggas, niggas that got money, fucking on your daddy, whatever. You know what I mean? How you riding on a nigga who be asking for a ride? Like she's not. She running up the bench, she trying to ball till she fall. Those are her words. Those are not mine, because it's a freestyle. That's what she's like. She said, "I don't even chase nigga. Why would I chase a nigga?" So I want her to keep that energy. But we know that in caring about people, opening yourself up, there is sometimes that little bit of back and forth that you have before it's finally done. And with both of them being Aquariuses, I can foresee them kind of dabbling around one more time. And this is why and this is why you have things for yourself. You kind of just phase niggas out and then keep it moving.
Because in theory, I am shocked that she even put that out there though, like that, to be honest.
I was shocked. And then for him to go on live and just be like, yeah, man, but both of y'all feelings is hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, this is a thing now where,
because you know what, okay, Dom, I got a scenario here. What if it was he didn't even cheat for real, but she assumed he did because it was somebody he used to mess with? So then she jumps out the window. Then he get hurt. He go doing this thing, and not everybody in a gender war because them having a misunderstanding that we don't know about.
Well,
and everybody jumped out the window on this, and they had a misunderstanding.
You know what? I think part of it is this. There's this fantasy that resides amongst men and women, and women like like Meg, beautiful girl, attractive, stacked, smart, funny, all these things, sexually liberated, free, all these things. She's intimidating to men. And because sometimes men and the women that subscribe to the patriarchy and the misogyny and the misogynoir, because this is a case of misogynoir because they're Black, right? Mm-hmm. So the rules are a little different, and in that it because it's more centered on just like a lot of shit that don't have shit to do with us, and we subscribe to it simply because of white supremacy, right? So ultimately, I say all that to say that a person like Megan, allegedly, based on what we're seeing, does not deserve happiness simply for existing, and being able to show up as her true, authentic self. That is something, especially as it's hard to do in general. It's hard to do in general. I've been on the receiving end of that, where it is, people that will say certain things that would never think to say that to me to my face, and when it's gotten back to me, I've gone straight to okay, so let's confront it head on and let's talk about it. And the people that would say those things would never ever acknowledge what they said and what they did. It's an excuse, but still never taking accountability or ownership of what the fuck they did, right? Just because you are yourself. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so that makes people feel a certain type of way. Like I said, and this is not limited to men. Women are also included in this conversation because she's everything, that they want to be and feel like they can't because of what society is saying to them. We see this time and time again. This is a tale as old as time. Like we have the Foxy Bryans, the Little Kims, the Queen Pens, and the Nikki, her, who allegedly her man even cheating on her, and he back in the trap house in New York somewhere. That's what his address is registered to. Mr. Petty, allegedly getting somebody else pregnant.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
I think the thing is this. We also have to understand being attractive and having things going for yourself does not negate niggas from nigging either. You know,
Yeah.
men cheat.
Yeah.
And my issue with all of it is, are we having a conversation about it? Are we you'll have somebody in a poly relationship or open relationship with somebody and they'll still cheat, even though the rules, you supposed to be communicating stuff, but because I just want this for myself or whatever, and you still go and do something. It's like, nigga, we in an open relationship. The rules are not to get a bitch pregnant. Now, why is she pregnant? Why, and who is she? You know what I mean? So I think that's something that when we go back, when we talked about poor dick management and poor pussy management, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always push, I always say, men have to learn discipline when it comes to their sexual appetite. They do.
Yeah. We do.
Women do too. Women be out here cheating. I'm not gonna say that women don't cheat.
Or it's a different type of cheat. No, I say that.
I'm a petty type of. I didn't technically cheat because I went and wrote a breakup letter and left the nigga key, and then I went to go, have my fun time, guilt free.
You broke up with him.
He just didn't know it yet. He was gonna find out when he got home.
He didn't know it yet.
Well, I knew what I was on, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's also the reality, and the reality is a lot of niggas can't get a chick like Meg the Stallion.
I said that's what I said, and they're projecting,
and they are projecting a lot of their insecurities. And what's happening is a lot of you niggas be gay.
Damn.
And I say that, and I stand by that because of the society that we live in, especially as Black people. Sex still being a taboo subject, sexuality being such a taboo subject. I think that a lot of people would be comfortable in their sexuality if it was okay with their homeboys and their families and all of that stuff. Because coming out still in 2026 is still a thing.
I don't know.
No. Trust me on this. Trust me on this.
Okay.
I was talking to one of my homeboys about it that lives in St. Louis. And he was like, I never thought about it from that perspective. I was like, because Black people, we don't get the opportunity to just exist and to be free.
I agree. Yep.
And so I think if it was not a thing, a lot of people would be out. Cause to be for real, it's 2026. So much has changed as far as sex exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would think that Black women still wouldn't have a high number of AIDS, STIs happening. And then when you're doing the research and you're doing a deeper dive, it is a lot of men doing a lot of DL stuff still in 2026. And you would think that, it would not be a thing. You know what I mean? And it shows in how men are even responding, like the verbiage that they use. And it's just like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what makes y'all think that this girl, regardless of what her public facing persona is, we talk about that here, being okay, we're online personalities, and when we turn the lights off and in the show, we get to be ourselves, our true selves, because there's only so much we're gonna give y'all any fucking way as Aquarius is, and so why are you saying that, oh, she's a hoe, she doesn't deserve love, she's dated this many men, and blah blah blah. Yeah, so has your homeboy. They might not, they're allowed to. It's like, this is what we talk about, breaking cycles and certain stereotypes. Your homeboy does the same thing. Is your homeboy a hoe? No, he the man. Nigga, he don't have good dick management either. He has poor dick management. And people are also living their lives in the public spotlight. Think about, for real, her situation is just, again, on this platform. This is normal shit that's happening.
Yeah.
Niggas get cheated on every day. Be men cheat on women, women cheat on men, and you go move on to the next person.
And what? So is this why you think people like? I just didn't know it was gonna get this bad in the streets. I tell like
I mean, y'all
put
got
up a
PBS
post.
in on this
I
shit.
said, hey,
You got PBS asking now why they in it because y'all done said that boy look like the logo. You got the Sims tweeting shit about it. I love the Sims. I want to play so bad, but I'm a crackhead and I want to be addicted to it. But so many different people and so many brands. And also she does have a lot of support online. It's just the algorithm what it pumps to us, you know. And it's one person, but I'm just like, dude, as much as you want to cosplay being smart and like this hotepi ass, like, you know, koofy wearing nigga, like you're ugly and you're missing a tooth. What are you talking about? Like, you look dusty, your hairline is uneven. And so it's a lot of people that are making comments about it that fall into that category. And I'm just like, I don't think you're the person that should be speaking. And people fumble stuff all the time. You know what I mean? I think they, you know, at least like I said, like the energy that you picked up from the photos, they genuinely like appear to be having fun, being happy and all of that stuff. But what are the terms and the conditions? And is it something that he did say to her? And then, you know, as women, sometimes we think that we could change men.
Yeah.
And so my question to her would be, okay, take a step back and, you know, focus on your music or whatever other projects. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, take this time, heal your heart, have fun. Girl, the summer is coming. The summer is coming. And
you took me back with that Wine and Anita Baker song in the morning.
But here's the thing, but like I said, I think
where my lighter
at? I think there would be one more time that they might have one more go round. Wait, no. She's gonna be singing Body and Soul. She goes,
oh shit.
Have you done to me? I can't eat, I cannot sleep. Because
no fairy tales. And Anita Baker and Aquarius too. That's what it is. Okay. Before we wrap this up, what song from Anita Baker she gonna be listening to? Let us know.
I told y'all. Let me tell you, I told y'all about this. But because look, you ending your job. Like, I wish for real, I feel like her ending was, you know, you have to do things for your mental health, and I understand that. But I think it's a level of like us being able to push through, to be able to, you know, persevere, like, you know, over. And I get that. But I'm like, Megan, you about your money, but I also get that you're about your mental health as well. But I think that I wish you would have been able to push through. You know, it's going to be a lot of people that are disappointed, and sometimes in our careers we have to make sacrifices. And yes, you want to lay in the bed and you want to cry. I get that, baby. Cry in the shower.
Well, she cried at her performance, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, she cried, you know, kind of at the end of that performance, and that's okay. That's cool. But you are, you know, I think it's something that's how you know she hurt. Because like Aquarius, we be like, all right, you know. But I just hope that she is able to find a level of peace. You know, because it's a lot. Like now your mind as Aquarius it starts to run, and it's like, what am I doing wrong? And it's not necessarily it don't have anything to do with you. A lot of times that stuff has to do with everybody else, but because we are sponges and we absorb a lot of stuff, you start to kind of overthink and your brain won't shut off. And so I hope she does take this time to kind of chill but get back out there. Like don't let this push you down, like, too much, because it girl, let
It's
me tell
gonna
you
put on
something.
that Anita
Them
Baker
other
same
niggas
old
don't be
love.
worth it in the end, boo boo. They
Yeah,
don't.
put on that same old love from Anita Baker and keep it pushing.
Yes.
All
And
right.
it just, but also I want to say this
Yeah.
to the people that are on like that, the hate train, and like saying evil things to her
Like
or
that picture
about
of the whole bunch
her.
of dudes running the
Even
train on
even
her.
even even Glow really like laughing. I'm like, boo, you date a basketball player too.
Hold on, she was laughing?
Yeah, so her and Glorilla allegedly are not friends anymore.
When did that
And
happen?
this has been going on for a few months, because that's I can't even dissect that right now.
What? I thought they was all running around
Yeah,
together.
no, at one point they were, but I think that it's just one of those things where people, like I said, when you're an Aquarius and you free, but ultimately, you
Wow, I said
know,
late 2025. That's what AI says.
yes. And so ultimately I'm like, hey girl, you don't do that. I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
don't do that. And I'm like, because you date a basketball player that already has cracked the joke publicly that you talk too much, you get on his nerves, and you go and he
I didn't
goes
see
to
no
bed.
problem with that. I didn't see any problem with that.
No,
I
no, no,
just,
no, no, no. I get that. I don't, but I'm saying that there's some truth to that. And do I think that he actually likes her? Yes. But that still doesn't mean that he might not cheat.
I mean, Clay's
Because
had a
because when that come out and something crazy come out, then you're gonna be sitting there with egg on your face. And
just stay out of the people. I'm saying in general, stay out of all this Meg Clay stuff. Period. That's my thing. Stay out the streets.
yeah,
Don't even be involved. I ain't engaged in that. This is the most I've talked about on this podcast in the last time. I'm not jumping in them streets talking about this.
and it's crazy. Just life happens, but that's why. Like all I'm saying is this: I think there might be one more go round, or they gonna mess around on the low for a little bit, and that's it. And if they get back together, we ain't gonna know.
I'd rather it be like that.
That's how
I'd
it should
rather
have
not
been
know.
from the beginning.
Yep. All right. So so there's an intruder at the media event with Donald Trump.
Oh, the
Do you,
correspondence dinner.
yes, correspondence.
Okay.
Um, what you think? I mean, people are thinking this is a coordinated attack, to get
Let me
sympathy
tell
from
you
Donald Trump.
something. Can I?
I just think it's stupidity, and like they just they ain't got their shit together in general.
Let me say this. This is why we think it's staged. Again, another staged attack. Your ratings are low.
Mm-hmm.
You got all this other fluff bullshit going on trying to distract us. For it to be an intruder shooter, gunshots going off, I'm going to say something crazy right now. It must be nice to be white and not afraid of even one gunshot sound, nothing, no round, no nothing. Y'all was moving real slow.
Yeah, they were.
Real slow. Because if this was doing any other administration, Biden, Obama, Bush, I'm even put we moving a little quicker. Cause there's no way. It looks fake. Even you, the one guy, the white man that was sitting there still eating his salad, everybody else, he like, what the hell are y'all doing?
Hold on.
Nobody's
So
screaming enough.
no. So all right, here we go, Dom. I want you to check this out. Do you know what a Naruto run is?
Naruto from one of the anime things?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know which anime, but I know it's anime.
It's a run. It's like a style of runner where they remember when they were talking about they was gonna go take over Area 51 and everybody they had all the people try to show up at Area 51. They was going and they would claim it's going to Naruto run and put it on Facebook and made it an event and they got like 5 million people.
Is
So
that
like,
what they doing at the Scientology theater? Like they running through?
no. So Naruto run is just this run this character does. But they were this some dude said, "Hey, we tired of this. Let's go run up in Area 51." This was during the pandemic. like 2021, 2022, I believe. Somewhere around. Let me make sure. Hold on.
Wait. I got a picture of it.
Yeah, you got the. So, all right. I will show y'all a video of this man.
It's kind of like how them kids was running on weapons a little bit.
Yes. So this is the guy right here. You can't tell me.
Checked it twice.
Run right past security.
Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this area? Very cool, Joe.
Look at him. Watch him. Naruto running. Look at him.
Are they supposed to have guns out?
Yeah, but it was Naruto run. It threw them off because who would be ridiculous to actually do a Naruto run and pump at a real place?
I just look. Somebody said something. They said they don't make John Wilkes Booth no more. And I just was like, y'all.
And supposedly this dude said that he did it to try to make sure that Trump gets his security better or something like that.
My thing is this. Y'all want me to believe somebody came from Torrance, California. Torrance, California, as an educator. See, here y'all go playing with this California shit again. I keep telling y'all it's a conspiracy. I don't even think it's a conspiracy no more. They're actively trying to turn this state red. I just don't believe that Californians don't. We don't care. Like, not that we don't care, because we care, but that's a lot.
Yeah, and he came out from Torrance, like
Torrance is like, without traffic, maybe like 30, 40 minutes from my house. It's not that far. It's like not LA County, but it's like Torrance is 21 miles away from my house.
All right, so it basically said he is anti-administration.
It's 40 minutes on the freeway. Yes, that's what I thought. I was like, it's going toward Long Beach. And I guess technically it would be its own city because they had their own police.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, y'all. I mean, at this point, our administration is so ridiculous. And then
you're talking about y'all want to use our tax dollars to fund this fucking ballroom when y'all had private donors, but you didn't ate all that money up. Boy, fuck you. Why do you need a ballroom? Why do you want to be Versailles so bad? There's some things just need to be where they are, like in the great city of France. Country.
That's where it is.
Countryside of France. My bad. That's the countryside. Versailles is its own entity as well. But that just doesn't make sense. And I'm like, why y'all planning these people facing these people that's literally like playing into this, and it's stupid. This is stupid.
Yeah, and the administration we're so untrustworthy that it lends to people having a conspiracy theory. Even if you ain't a conspiracy theorist, I ain't been a conspiracy theorist since 2003. I mean, it documented, but I remember I came back because of the Epstein files. It brought me back in.
I thought you said 2005, but okay, 2003.
Okay, 2005. I'll do because it's still you don't get it fully off narcotic till later, so I'll go at 2005. So you can't go cold turkey. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's fair.
I go at 2005. We'll go 2005. But I came back in 2025 because of the Epstein files.
I'm like, here we go with this bullshit again. We just
need to get this over with. Just hope, I don't know. But
I just, it hasn't even been a fucking year, and it feels like it's been 10.
Yep. Gas going up.
We gonna need Botox and fillers after this administration.
Mentioning Botox and plastic surgery of something I wasn't even tripping off of as much. Did you see the movie Michael yet?
Yes, I went Friday.
All right.
I went to the gym.
Okay.
I had
what did you think? What did you think?
I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was nice to see. It was nice to see people for this moment in time It just felt like it was nobody had a care in the world. Like everybody was comfortable. Everybody, you could feel that energy of like joy, even in him. Those beatings. Like you could still feel the joy in that the theater. It's like seeing like my date, kind of like coming along or whatever. It's kind of bobbing his head, and then people behind her. I had to shush them niggas singing. I'm like, because you rent the theater yourself, you're gonna do all of that.
Yeah.
But people really just being really immersed in that experience. And let me tell you something about I almost caught the boy Your Majesty. That's one of them. Let me tell you about Jafar. Because the Jacksons, I won't take from them. They all have beautiful smiles. They all of them have that beautiful smile. I don't know. I don't know which side they get it from. I don't know if it's Joe, or Catherine's side, but they all have really beautiful smiles. And when Jafar put them sunglasses on, he was his uncle. And he emulated Michael, down to, Michael would do all that with his mouth. Like when he would dance, he was doing that. And I was like, shit. But then I said, damn, you look like your daddy. He looked like Jermaine. It was other part. He just looked like Jermaine. As much as he looked like Michael, he looked like Jermaine.
Yeah, he looks.
He looked like his dad. That's his daddy. His daddy. That's that. He is the baby.
Yes.
It is so. I mean, it was really good. I would say, for real, they could have given us another hour. There were parts that I felt.
It'll be a part two. They claim they coming out with a part
they just greenlit it yesterday.
Okay. Yep.
There's supposed to be a part two. I'm gonna say this. I said this about weapons. In a lot of movies in general, I'm a person that doesn't necessarily need sequels. Part 2, 3 is I don't necessarily need that. I thought it ended at a good point, but if they wanted to go past bad and then we enter into dangerous, you know what I mean? Because we know what happens after that. That's a lot. That's heavy.
Yeah.
And I know initially they were saying that they were going to touch upon the allegations. And then they end up having to go back to shoot the final act over because of
the settlement.
Yeah, and they could not discuss certain things. Okay, understandable. But I thought it was really dope to just have this center on Michael, where you are getting his life through the lens of Michael at this point in time. Understanding that how afraid he was of Joe, how he was hiring people like, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, you go tell him. And then him finally getting the balls and courage, even though it had to be on the stage rather than confronting him one-on-one. At the end of the victory show, this is it. We done. We break. Like, I ain't fucking with these niggas no more. I'm tired. I want to do my own shit. I want to live my own life. You seeing how old he was living at that compound with his family, like with his mom and dad. And then how instrumental his bodyguard was. I didn't know that his bodyguard was so close, and that he really kind of viewed his bodyguard like a father figure. Joe was just your manager, because Joe from an early age was like, don't call me daddy. I'm your manager. I'm a spawner. That's literally what it was. And y'all work for me. And I thought that my one complaint is when we get to the era of Thriller.
Okay.
And how quick they glazed over Thriller. I did not like that. Because, yes, we're aware that his label forced MTV's hand to play Billie Jean, which is, just seeing that happen and what really happened, allegedly. But knowing that they ended up playing Thriller on MTV for like 24 hours, and we're not gonna see his stuff really go on MTV. I thought that was a missed moment, a missed opportunity. Like it was one thing to us to see the making, but to see, I wish we would have saw the reactions of people when Thriller dropped, because we knew how iconic that moment was, especially for Black history. And also when we think about that time span of MTV, that was in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we talk about what it's like to be Black in America, and how you have networks still trying to segregate and not play certain stuff in the 80s. This was 40 something years ago.
No, you're right.
And Michael Jackson changed the face of MTV. So I wish they would have spent just a little more time. Like, even if it would have gave us just 10 or 15 more minutes on that, I would have been, okay with that. But I think overall, I would say it was like a good, 9 out of 10, 8.59. But I have fun, and I get that, Janet didn't want to be a part of it. But then I look at it through this lens. Janet was born out here.
No, she wasn't.
Janet was. I thought Janet was born out here.
Born in Gary. She's born in Gary.
Was she?
He was, when they didn't blow up till 69. She was born in 66.
I thought Janet
grew up out in LA. She grew up in LA, but she wasn't born there. She was born in Gary.
I thought, I thought she 59.
Yeah.
Dang, niggas is getting old. I cannot believe it.
Yeah,
Damn,
no,
she's 5'4"?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was that little.
Yes.
Damn, I didn't know that is a midget. Let me stop saying that word. Let me sorry.
Yeah.
That's a little person. It's a little person.
It's
For
not even a
me,
little
because
person.
I'm 5'9". I
Yes,
mean,
I was like, yeah, no.
but no, I thought she was okay. So yeah, she was raised out here.
Yes, she was
So
raised.
okay, so I'm gonna say
she don't know
this.
nothing about that Gary life though. Don't get it twisted. She don't know nothing about no Gary. But
No. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so listen. So if I will say this. By the time I'm gonna say she was born there, raised here, right? So that's like you said, she doesn't know the Gary life, but also it's only so much that they really, because he's 7 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
So things are not, it's not really overlap. It's overlapping, but it's not overlapping like that, because now they're out there, they doing talent shows and all this different stuff. Joe got them out up late, all this stuff.
Yeah,
so,
but also
but I'm
Janet
gonna say
was a part of that part, because they had the Jacksons on Las Vegas, the Jacksons TV show.
But that
they had a whole bunch of stuff. She was in it. And
so,
Janet was in it.
So no. So I'm saying at her age of child star, and then she's getting into acting and doing her own thing.
But she was like 5. They did the Jacksons TV show.
You don't let me finish my thought.
Yeah, but you got to get the.
No. But what I'm saying is this: there's that, just like he has an age gap with his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They have an age gap. So I think once they really start to connect, which I could respect her. Like, let's just focus, because she saw it and she was pleased with it. Alleged, that's what they say. Because she had a private screening. Mm-hmm. But I would say probably by the time where they really, really started to intertwine and connect, that would be its own separate movie.
No, I get it.
And so it's only so much that you can show anyway, because you don't really see them, even what his connection was like with Jackie, like that. We know him and Jackie were really, really close.
Jermaine, you mean Jermaine?
No, it was him and Jackie.
No,
let me tell you. No, he cannot stand Jermaine.
Afterwards, that's why. No. See, you
when they talk about
Jermaine originally.
Okay, you listen. This is why, because him and LaToya irked him, and I was like, I could see.
Then why did he live? No, these are all later on in life.
This is later on, but I don't think people realize how much certain siblings were around, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
Jackie's like mad. Oh, Jackie didn't hang out with him like that. I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Jackie is like 20 while he was 10.
I know.
But I'm telling
What
you,
I'm
like,
saying
Jackie
is,
is
okay,
not.
so think about it through this lens. Think about it through this lens. Okay, I'm a little brother. Jackie's 10 years older than me. And even like Jackie and his relationship, it was like they were close. They
I'm trying to
were
tell
close
you,
at one point.
Jermaine.
Not
I'm
I'm not
focusing
talking
Jermaine in the
about
film.
Jermaine. Okay, remove Jermaine. Remove Jermaine. We're gonna focus on
And Latoya lived with him
Latoya.
in New York while he was doing the Wiz. Like that, like
That's what I'm saying. Latoya was always around. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's why I said I didn't realize she was around
oh
that
yeah,
much
she was around a hell of a lot.
until this film. And I said, oh shit, so much about his annoyance with her, because she always there, makes sense. It's just little sibling stuff. You know, it's not that you hate somebody. It's just like, damn, bitch, you here again today talking. He will make fun of her, make fun of her voice. He would do the same thing about Jermaine. But like when you see pictures of how he and Jackie were when they were coming up, especially when he was little and they was in a band, and as they got older, you could tell that there was a different sort of admiration and love there. Kind of how he was with with Janet. That's what I'm saying. And so Jermaine got all of them niggas, and probably because he messy. Jermaine messy.
He is. Jermaine is
So
hella
that's
messy.
what I'm not saying that that's not true, but I was saying that like him and Jackie also had a special bond, because I know how that, you know, when Jackie said how it impacted him, blah 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 blah, when he passed. So that's what I'm saying. But baby, Coleman Domingo, I was like, damn, it looked like Coleman Domingo and Little Richard merged into a person, and it made Joe Jackson. And it was funny because even the powder, like, you know, Joe with that powder, you know, and you just cringed every time he came on. I mean, yes, there. I will say this: Hilton Jacobs from American, you know, Dream.
Mm-hmm.
You felt the aggression that he really embodied, that aggression that, you know, Joe allegedly had. We like to say alleged.
Yes, thank you.
To keep us safe. But you really got to see Coleman embody this like conniving snake villain. It just festered, like he permeated the air.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and Coleman at least deserves a nomination. I know the critics, because they don't, when we talk about black joy or whatever, there was a period where, you know, and I will say, I don't know, I can't say joy because this is Michael Jackson's life, so it was a lot of darkness there in his light surrounding him, if we could be honest. But I mean, Coleman Domingo played, because I feel like based on what they was trying to do and like kind of sabotage this film, and I'm glad that everybody else still went out to see this film. But I don't know, like I know it could be for our, you know, for your consideration, but I don't know if ultimately like people are gonna have to rally and really push like how they did with Sinners, because of, you know, white Hollywood, just Hollywood in general, because Hollywood is white. Let's just call it Hollywood. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Coleman fucking Domingo,
he was menacing.
He is. Just thinking about it, you get, it's like Thriller, the intro to, you know, like, ooh.
So I'm gonna have a whole totally different take than you on this.
I know you don't like it. I feel like you don't like it.
I didn't say I don't like it. We shout out to 90s Music. We did a review on it yesterday. You go check it out. I gave it a 6.5.
Okay. Do tell.
No Randy. Why is Randy not in there? Randy's not in there at all. He was in the Jackson 5 after Jermaine left. And
okay, so I remember some weird story that Randy like low-key was like adopted.
No.
But this is
now there's the conspiracy theory in me since I'm back because of the Epstein files. So you know who does Randy Jackson manage?
He manages somebody.
Yes.
Who?
His sister Janet. He's our manager.
Still, we did talk about this.
Yes, remember when them comments came, she said, "My brother Randy, my manager, told me this about Kamala." Remember?
Yes.
All right, stay with me. See, now you stay with me. Stay with me. Who does Randy have the most beef with out of his family?
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the Game never leaves G-Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened, we reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Is.
Michael?
No,
Who?
Jermaine.
Oh yeah, because of
And whose son is that's playing Jafar? I mean, who's Jafar that's playing Michael?
Yeah.
Whose son is that?
Jermaine,
And it's by who?
his ex-wife.
Ding, 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 ding,
No.
ding, ding.
Here's the
Ding,
thing.
ding, 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 ding.
Okay, continue your theory, your story.
I think that Randy was like, telling her originally, I don't know about that. Hating.
Oh, ooh.
I don't think this is a good look. Jermaine is all up in it. His son in it. How much is Mama involved in it? You know Mama 95. How much she really? I think it's Jermaine's thing, Janet.
I don't remember him having a producer credit.
No. My son is in it. His son.
I know.
He on set every day. If you go to
I know.
Instagram,
What's
he's
the
at the
boy
set
name?
like almost every day.
What's Blanket? Well, no, not Blanket. What's the other boy name?
Prince.
Yeah, I know that he has a credit.
Yeah.
Like he was.
But then the one daughter's not involved. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Randy did hate because Randy did go to the premiere. I heard, but I'm just saying Randy. Let's think about this real quick with that. But I'm saying,
okay, I didn't think about that. Oh shit!
You still like, even if you don't have Janet like and name her, at least have a little baby sitting there next to them at the dinner table.
Yeah, I think that would have. I think that would have sufficed. But I think it's just when
they try to sneak her in there. If you didn't notice, they try to sneak her in there
with the suit thing.
No, the Different Strokes episode they were watching.
Oh, okay. Well, but you know what? Here is the thing.
My thing, if everybody ain't gonna be down with it, then we need to figure out some better way to do this.
I think you know what? Now,
and no Reby. Where's Reby at? Reby don't exist.
You know, after Centipede.
But Centipede Centipede is after Thriller.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, but you know, that's tough. But I was thinking, because when I was thinking about that and how my mind kind of correlated that, you know, her being older than them, and then kind of.
No, she got married at 18 and moved off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, she got away.
But she came back to do the
and I was like, stuff. You know, I remember her getting married young and having a. So I'm like, I could see that, but also I ain't really mad at how
look. It is more. It's even more. I didn't like the fact that first of all, this movie shouldn't try to be his whole life. It should have just did Thriller and called the movie Thriller. And you could do a whole movie based around Thriller.
But that's what this.
It was being too over ambitious to me. Like, it's trying to do too much. If you're not going to have all the Jacksons, don't even put the Jacksons in the movie for real to me until the Victory Tour.
I think that, but that's what I'm saying. So for
No Wiz, and the Wiz was the reason that he wanted to do this the solo album like that. Was because of being in the Wiz.
So that's
and you don't mention it.
No. I can. This is why I was like, we could have had another hour and a half, because if y'all were banking on having a two-part deal, I remember we talked about this originally. They were saying that movie was like 4 hours.
Yes. Yep.
After cut,
I was like, I ain't sitting there for 4 hours.
And so you know, they could have did it like an Avatar, where initially out the gate this is 3 parts. I think a studio would have picked it up based on that.
It's Michael Jackson. That was going to easy.
Yeah, and so, but here's the thing. Even still in a part 2, are they going to be able? I mean, they would have to.
No, there's a whole thing. Derek Luke is supposed to be Johnny Cochran. Like, he's already in the like they shot that.
No, okay, so they remember they had to. So
Yeah.
they had to reshoot it. They had to reshoot the last act.
So what is that going to be then? Even if they can't do the allegation.
My question is this: are y'all able to have the conversation without saying which case it is or whatever, or what is life like for you behind the scenes? So now you would need like because that would be the thing. We know what it's like, what it looked like public facing. Privately for Michael Jackson, what is that conversation? Janet would to me, don't talk about it, because we know that means that if Janet's not going to be involved in part 2, if they could do this right, we don't talk about Scream. We're not going to talk about Scream.
Yeah, one of the most expensive videos of all time. I know.
So that doesn't make sense. But this is why I'm also kind of like how it ended. I'm kind of okay with this, because unless you are going to have all hands on deck, that means we would need to talk to, you know, what is his mom saying? Is that written down somewhere, or somebody recording her so she can say, well, this is what Michael said to me. This is what our interaction was, where Janet is kind of doing the same thing. And, you know, other people that he had a relationship with talking about this. Like, we already know that he don't have friends like that. So it is your family. I will say Joe was right about one thing, though.
What was he right about?
The only thing that he was right about was the protection part. Like, your family is always gonna have your back. These white people gonna exploit you. Remember he said that?
Yeah, true.
That's the one thing that he was right.
There's a whole piece of it. They could have made a great part. They could literally just did Thriller, and it could have been a movie. Just making a Thriller.
Absolutely.
Like the idea that
because like I'm telling you, like that's why I said I don't like how they just did not talk about Thriller, like the impact that Thriller has and still has to
the making of it. I mean, Quincy Jones is in there for 2 scenes. Come on, man.
How's Quincy Jones did everything up until he went to
he did everything up to Dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Because that's when he went to Epic. That's when he went to Epic
originally. He's on Epic originally. Like at this point, he's on Epic. He ends up going.
I thought that he was at
Sony.
Motown.
Sony. He went to Sony.
Sony. Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's what it is.
And MJJ. Like it's like even one of the funniest things there was Tito was like, I gotta go home and take care of my kids, and I was like, oh, that's 3T. And then
okay, so look, walk with me.
Mm-hmm.
If this was 15 years ago, 15, 20 years ago,
TJ could have played it.
TJ would have been perfect. Okay, so we talk about the theory of, Michael Jackson's kids.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, Tito and his wife had TJ for Michael. That was Michael.
Yeah.
And when I tell people that, and I was telling them at work yesterday, we were talking about it because the majority of us went to see Michael. I said, baby, I could see TJ, and it's like, who's TJ? I said, oh, Tito's youngest baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show. And they was like, Tito, because Tito, oh my God, Tito was lustful thoughts, but he was. I mean, that's a beautiful person.
Tito?
Tito Jr.
Yeah.
And meeting Tito Jr., having the opportunity, and I was like, man, this is the closest I'll ever get to meet Michael Jackson.
No, that's real.
Him being shocked that I knew who he was. I said, I'm much older than you think I am. I know I present younger, but baby, I was born in the 80s. Tell me, why does Monday fall after Tuesday?
Hey, that song. Hey, why is the look? That why is a dope ass song. Hey, 3T had a little. They got some joints on that album, man. That brother
That
album
was
got
such
some
a
joints.
that album is no skips.
No, it's not. I keep telling people that, and then the people are like, I get people texting me like, "Dude, you wouldn't lie." I'm like, it's got joints on there.
Make sure you clip this up. 111, 15, or 110.
Yep.
Because I mean, and tag 3T, tag all the
Yeah.
lyrics. Because I think that's the crazy thing about it. When I said, yo, like, and I tell them, I said, Tito's kids look like Michael. And I'm like, and you think about, I talked about this on here when we talked about Tito passing away.
Yep.
And telling you that I have a cousin that was literally named after Tito, full name, Toriano Adero. And my cousin's last name is Burston, but but I think, but it's just crazy because like you look back over I mean, because even now when he talks, it's like talking to Michael Jackson. It's just I think I have to sit with that. I think you are really right, D.
I think the movie tried to do too much. They could just did Thriller or just did Thriller because people don't understand. There's so much going on during the Thriller time that would be tasty to see. Like Paul McCartney. So the Miles Teller role, the guy that plays Miles Teller, he's one of the producers too. All right, that's why he all up in there.
Okay.
If you're like, who the fuck is this lawyer? He's one of the executive producers too. Now, the interesting thing that they would have done is he's the one that negotiated the deal for him to get the Beatles catalog.
So I'm gonna say
that would have been good to see, like him talking. Because he went out to eat with Paul McCartney and his wife, and they was talking. He was telling them about how masters work and publishing work, and he was like, "I'm getting ready to get mine back." And Mike was like, and he had Homeboy go check into it, and it was a bidding war between him, Paul McCartney, and a couple other random people. He got it for $46 million. That mug is worth $2 billion now.
So my question to you is this.
But that would have been a great scene to have.
Well, wait. So because walk with me. Do you think
it leaned on nostalgia too much of trying to play the music?
But do you think because of what happened with them having to reshoot and change the ending, that last act, do you think that they probably went back and looked at everything as a whole?
No, because the other thing is out there. That was the only thing they had to do was in the last 35, 40 minutes.
But do you think that they went back as a whole and start cutting and chopping? Because there are certain parts where it just, like I said, Thriller era feeling rushed.
No whiz.
Yeah, but I can see them not including.
No, you cannot.
No. My question to you. Let me ask the fucking question. Do you think they even thought about shooting that, or okay, this doesn't align, or we can't transition this right, and now they're just chopping? Because I could potentially see that happen.
Diana Ross. That's why.
Because she did ask to not be included.
That's it.
Which is so interesting because it's like, okay, are you going based off of your end relationship? Because like I don't know if they were even cool by the time that he passed.
Yeah,
because of like the controversial things where people say, oh, she groomed him or whatever. Why is it that, or is it like you said, a Randy thing, or where Randy's getting a hold of people just like I don't know. This might be.
Yeah, I mean, I think she didn't know how they was gonna make everything look with her. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Now, but my thing is,
but you could have also had creative control over that and said, hey, you can include me in this scene. If we're gonna talk about this, it's this scene, and we talking about like you said, like the Wiz. I'm down to be in it, and we on the Wiz.
Yeah, like I mean, there were so many different chunks of him that you could do with that. Like his villain origin story is the Grammys at 1980. The movie should start out in 1980 at the Grammys when he don't get nothing for Off the Wall for real. And he literally left out of there and was like, I'm gonna make the best album ever. Like that's his villain origin story. And then he gets Paul McCartney's masters. Then he like gets all these super producers and writers. You could have a whole thing with them doing the songs, like how they had him doing that. They could have had it with Rod Tipperton in the studio doing that. Toto doing Human Nature, and them. It was a voicemail that somebody played it over the voicemail, and it was at the end of the voicemail, and they would have never heard if they didn't keep the voicemail. It's like all these stories built around just Thriller that you could have done and gave him great service.
Which, by the way,
we didn't need no bubbles, all them doggone animal scenes. We didn't need none of that for real. We could have just had him walk around with some pets one time and.
Or yeah, I was gonna say I didn't mind how they got bubbles because that was fun. That was cute and fun to see. But I will say which sidebar I want to say if you have the opportunity to listen to Off the Wall on vinyl, if you can cop it, please listen to it on vinyl. Oh my god,
it's amazing.
I can't help it. Any on vinyl.
Look, and that Stevie Wonder wrote that. Like we could be talking about doing.
But I think that it's just. I think they should have planned accordingly. I think that they should have thought about this from the jump through different parts. And I think, and I know people are like, well, we already had a really good miniseries with Angela Bassett. You had Bumper Robinson, Jason Weaver, so many different people. But I'm like,
the dude that played Michael in that, he passed away right after that. He was good too.
The guy Wiley.
Yep.
Yeah. But I think that's how they should have maybe planned for this from the beginning, because then you could have covered a wider array and it still wouldn't have been enough, because that's just Michael's life is just like that. And this takes me back. I have a question for you, because we spoke about this, on my podcast, Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations. Shameless plug.
Yep.
But when we talk about Beyonce, Taylor Swift being like the last superstar, and I had this conversation with Johnny after the movie, and we stood in the garage for probably another 20-30 minutes debating about this. And I was like, even how great Taylor and Beyonce is, they're not Michael. And I say that, I said,
or Prince. Yeah,
I'm like, because you have people passing out, just like at these shows, having to be carried out the shows and all of this stuff. He's just standing there and they fainting. Like when we talk about God bodied, like he really was that, and we had never, and to be alive to experience that is, I mean, that's when we talk about millennials just being just different. We really were fortunate enough to witness this in real time, like being able to say, oh, I went to a Michael Jackson concert. I really did, and to know where you were. It was like the earth stood still the day that he died. I blame my bitch ass uncle for that shit. It's his fault, because we should have been kicking it in New Orleans for a night after dropping his big head ass kid off at school. And you want to rush us back, because you didn't go, and so it was like a weird Joe Jackson control thing. I said this, and we literally was talking about the Jacksons, and then the radio cut out, and they made the announcement, and I was like, this bitch. This is his fucking fault. I should be eating a beignet in the French Quarter. You know what I mean? And I think that just that generation of what we experienced, and I think Beyonce is close. I don't necessarily see people fainting at her concert. You know what I mean? And that's to take nothing from her or comparing and contrasting the two. But I just think this level of superstardom that exists, like we will never see this again. Even with these K-poppers, you got, different artists, but it's just not the same, because I think about there's so many artists that are out that, as Black people, we don't even know, because we're like, what's happening? And I think it's the same even for white people. They're like, what, who is that, whatever. But Michael, you knew on a global level.
Yeah.
Globally. It didn't matter what was your favorite genre. Everybody liked Mike. Everybody loved Michael. We had never seen that before, like you said, except for with Prince. And he was like, I gotta ask him now. I don't gotta give this to Prince. That nigga probably said that for real.
Like they could have played with that some, because that was a whole time they was battling in the early 80s, because you got to remember this Bad came out, this not Bad Thriller came out the same year as Purple Rain, man. Think about 84 was crazy.
That was the year.
84 was crazy, man. Like, oh, I would love for them to do what is those vignette series that they do, like not beef, where they have like the two different people that don't like each other over the years. With the white women, they've done like 2 seasons of it, where they take 2 historical.
Yeah. Well, the first season is the Asian people.
No, not beef. I'm talking about it was actual real people, like Katharine Hepburn with such, and it shows them not liking each other over like 30, 40 years.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about.
I'm saying do that with Prince and MJ.
This is a series for you to do. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's too much rights to be able to get Prince and MJ beef. both of they rights.
You could do a mini series on YouTube and Instagram, and just because that's the whole running.
And they'll sue immediately, especially Prince's estate. They're very litigious.
You have to, okay, but we talk about using allegedly. You said allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. That's true.
I'm just giving you the idea. I'm like,
no,
hey, that
true.
would be really good engagement for you to build it out. And you
true. Yeah, it's man, like I said, the movie wasn't bad overall. Before we check on out, I don't think the movie is bad. You know, it was just that I think it was too over ambitious, and I do think biopics maybe have to, especially when you know someone so much like that, take a step back and only do a time period and not try to do their whole life. Especially like, because we didn't learn nothing about Mike, but I think if we would have did just Thriller, we could have learned things that would have, like the part one of the most genius parts of the film to me was the Beat It scene where he was there and he was like, it was showing him on the fly being like, no, we're gonna do this flow with it. It's a flow thing. Like, what that's what we want to find out, the genius of Mike, not just him performing and being mad and hanging out with his animals. That's why I felt we should have got more of that about Michael.
Yeah, I think they was trying to show this,
and like they're adding in stuff like to a certain extent. And this is the thing that kind of pissed me off. And I know what they were doing as a Jackson estate. They're trying to say all the shit that's going to happen to him in the future is because of this shit over here. If that makes sense. Like everything that everybody is on his ass for later on, potentially or allegedly or whatever, look at it. It's not his fault. He didn't get on drugs like that. It was because of him getting in the fire thing, he got on drugs. He's just close to kids because he always cared about them in the hospitals. I'm not saying that he did anything, y'all. I'm just saying what the movie is indicating. You know,
I don't think
he always wanted Never Land Ranch. He always wanted.
But you know, I don't think I realized. I knew like how bad that burn was.
No, it was super bad.
Yeah, no, I remember it being bad, but I don't remember. I don't think I realized like how bad it was. Like them stretching his skin. Like when I like kind of looked more into it post.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, shit. Like I could see that because like them not having the technological advances like they have now when it comes to burn victims, right? Like, and how that really did play a part. And I just was thinking about it through this perspective because you know how often they mention Coca-Cola in this,
mm-hmm.
and how he didn't even want to be a part of this anyway.
No, so you know it's the crazy thing. He even never touched the Pepsi can, even in all the commercials. He wouldn't touch the can.
Yeah, they were saying that he didn't like Pepsi.
No, he liked Coke.
Yeah, and so like your life changes because your daddy has forced you to do something you don't want to do with a brand that you don't want to do.
Look, it changed the directory of Pepsi. Black people start drinking Pepsi again, man, like in droves because of the Jacksons.
Pepsi good though. I don't care what.
But I'm just saying at the time they were behind.
I prefer Pepsi over a Coke any day. Give me an ice cold fountain Pepsi. Woo!
Man, but I just feel like, man, there's so much we could have gotten rich if we just did one time. Even if we just did bad, even if we just did off the wall like one time.
No, I think that they just honestly, this is, and I get it because it is one of those things like you taking what you can get because sometimes we have to play small ball just to get a piece of the pie. But I think out the gate that this should have been like a 2 to 3 part movie to begin with that was released over different, and it could be, of course, over the next year, where it could have been, part one, part two, part three. Like we could like be releasing part two in the winter, because that's a big box office time as
Mhm.
well. And like depending on what's slated to release, because you want it to do well, and they released it on a good weekend. Like it wasn't, you had like a kid movie, the Mummy, so they released it on a great weekend. It was nothing really for it to compete with. So I think that they just played small ball, unfortunately. And that's how you get that skipped over. And like you said, I think they probably would have explored the Wiz, but Diana Ross, and they could have probably did that where
I mean, it's just
it
so
was,
many stories from the Wiz. You don't understand? Like Michael Jackson was so good at dancing. Diana Ross checked him and was like, "Hey, man, you doing way too well. People don't even want to show up for practice because you doing all the dance moves for everybody other routines too on the side. He on the side doing everybody else stuff too, killing what they doing for scenes he not even in." Like,
and I think it was just one of those things where he was also excited to be a part of something.
and by himself.
Yeah, and by himself. You remember, it's like you remember on the Fresh Prince, Will learned everybody's lines,
Yep.
and they
Same
would have to
thing.
tell him to stop. Hey, stop mouthing it. But it was helping him remember his shit.
Yep.
I think it was something like that. He was just happy. This was a new experience, and so I think that they could have totally did that low key and not even moved. Like they could have moved around the idea. Like you could have saw the back of somebody where it was insinuated this is Diana Ross, though this person doesn't have any lines. But what was his experience like? You know what I mean? If we're just going to go full on Michael and let it be through his lens and what it was like, there was a way I think that you could have worked around that like that. But that takes a lot of extra effort, but it's possible. It's totally possible. But I think that they you was just trying to get something greenlit, which I appreciate. But I think that, for real, they should set it up. Okay, this next part probably should be in 3 hours, or y'all need to do 2 parts. Because
Yeah,
you
the
can
only
even do
thing is though,
something.
it's not gonna be able to sit on the music like it did the last one though. It can't live off the music though.
But no. Here's the interesting thing too. And you talk about the nostalgia part. You can always have a flashback.
Now you could do that. That's a good. I like movies like that better. Like where you show them at the end and show them how they got to where they are.
Yeah, I'm like, because we saw up until this point, but then you think about like it could be something where they having a conversation, because he did talk about Thriller a lot, and it's like he could revisit that era of his life,
You know what? You
and
can,
then
you
we
can
go
that maybe
forward.
that's the way you can correct it. That's a good idea to correct the mistakes from the stuff you didn't get to see in the first one from the past.
Yeah, and then he could say, oh, when I was on the Wiz and blah 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 blah, and it was just like a little foreshadowing that happened to me. And especially as far as my music, my sound, because I'm kind of in this space of like exploring Broadway to a certain extent, and I'm like, how can this translate to my music? And then you go from the Wiz, like you said, you do the flashbacks from from the Wiz, and then now you're at um not bad, off the wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And,
saying. Yeah,
and
off
then
the
you
wall,
go, and
then
then
in
you
Thriller.
like, oh, and this is how I translated this to off the wall, and then into Thriller. You know
Now,
what I mean?
now what would be kind of dope is if he's sitting in it with a therapist or something, or at the doctor talking about all this stuff that happened before.
Yeah, you could. You could do that.
Or if you want to get, you can get messy with it if you want. Not messy with it, but interested with it. Having sitting with Elizabeth Taylor, and like talking about like, you know, we didn't. I mean, you could even did that from the beginning, like somebody like that, or you know, whoever his best friend was towards the, you know, around that time, towards the end, you know.
When you said Elizabeth Taylor, I immediately thought of him at that wedding when he like,
yeah. Hey, Mike was wild, man. Mike was wild, and I wanted them to do the real Mike voice too, because Mike's got a second voice, y'all. If y'all don't know, Mike's got a deep voice for real.
Yeah. I think but see, here's the thing is how often, my question is this: how often did he use his regular voice? Because we know he spoke higher to protect his vocals as well, which makes sense. But that's my question, like how often out, because we know he uses it on 2000 Watts, the video game. And then it was like some other time you get it coming out in
They said if you were hanging out with him, he would talk regular. Like if you were close, like friends with him, or like he would just be like Chris Tucker would be like, "What's going on, man?" You'd be like, Chris Tucker said, he was like, "Well, what?" Like,
and then we know you see a little bit of it when he is in Beat It, not Beat It, Bad. Because
because when he's talking to him, when he's like, "Man, no, man," you'd be like,
and then he says no, and then he said, "Man, stop!" Like he said in a deep voice. You say you hear it.
Hey, he couldn't keep that high pitch. They probably that was their 50th take. He was man, stop.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, though.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to you know what I'm saying, everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
But I think there's a way.
And some of the costume, that Thriller costume sucked. Like you can't tell me that wasn't bad. That you would think the makeup would have been better for Thriller. The makeup in Thriller looked better than the makeup in this for Thriller to me.
You know what? Just watching. Here's the thing. I have to send you the clip. There's a clip that I just came across. It's him and Quincy. And Quincy's wiping his face, and and he's still in kind of in character, and you kind of see Michael just kind of sitting there, just like, "Whoo, child, I'm tired," or whatever. But actually, it looks similar. I think it's just part of like the editing, the lighting, how it is in the film, in the video. But it looks like that. It looked like that. I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram.
Okay.
It did, but it was. I don't know. I don't know for what it was. I think I enjoyed it because
I enjoyed it for the nostalgia. I know it for the nostalgia. But I'm a Jackson's person, man. I love Janet, man. Janet's one of my favorite entertainers of all time. Like, so I get into it, you know, get into the weeds.
Yeah, I think right now, and also I think that, you know, maybe it could have been a little bit of what, you know, let's say that Randy theory, by the way, is excellent. Randy theory is excellent. I never thought about that. We might need to just have an episode where we dissect that as a whole, and then how easy it was for her to throw him under the bus. I mean, maybe she wanted to get away from that nigga. You know,
Randy?
In the end, because, you know, like I said, like if she saw it and it's like, shit, like this ain't nothing what I thought it was gonna be, that might change the trajectory of part 2. Because I don't understand how to revisit history without Scream. How do you do that? How? Like it's no, like I'm trying to be funny. I'm not interested in a part 2 if they're not gonna explore like what is this gonna entail. Are we stopping at history? And we're not gonna talk about Scream. I just can't do that. I can't. It's no point. It's no point.
No,
But
you're right.
I just no. But I'm wondering because they said she did see it in her own private screening and was like pleased with the film.
All right, well, Dom, we were going to talk about the Sharon Moore case, but I know y'all probably didn't care. Y'all want to talk about Michael Moore. You know, that's more funner anyway, particularly after, you know, well, we talked about more serious stuff before, but this is fun. Talk about Michael and music. You know, that's what we love to do. So, Dom, where can people hit you up at?
You can hit me up at St. Angeles wherever you social network. And don't forget to go see, you know, rent my movie. What?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Well,
Make
not
sure
my movie, but Kadida's movie. Well, you know, written and produced by Kadida Poli. Shout out to her. Executive produced by her and Bentley Evans. Check it out.
Yeah. Oh, hit the voicemail too. 314-649-3113.
Hey, they like to be messy in the comments. They not calling us. They say, I want you to see it right away, right now. And that's what they gonna do.
That's what they gonna do right now.
Baby, and y'all be coming back commenting on shit from 2-3 years ago. Think y'all we about to debate y'all. Baby, we're Aquarius. It is over and done to us.
It's above us.
It is. We not going back and forth with y'all about shit from 2-3 years ago.
That's real. That's real.
Stop. Like, it's not happening. We gonna see it and be like, oh, okay. We might be. Fuck.
All right, we will see y'all soon, y'all.
Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share all the podcasts
Yes,
on the
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all. Peace.